Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leashed On, a podcast where I'm leashed onto a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. I think today is going to be an episode where I talk a little bit more with my hands, so my mic's going to be pretty far. But before I get into it, I just really wanted to talk about this awesome piece of apparel I got from Unmasked. This is not like in any way, shape, or form a promo, but I just wanted to say I'm really hoping and very grateful for any and every encounter I have with other small creators, whether that be musicians, other small podcasters, or other people who just have amazing words and just want to be out there. I hope you guys are ready to see what I've got in tune for me, but right now I really just want to talk about this awesome hoodie I got. First of all, I hope my camera can capture me. It says Unmasked right here. It's got a nice little, let me see if I can stand up. All right, this is my setup. My room's a mess. It's got a little boxy fit, which I think is awesome for me curating fits. It like bunches all right here at the wrist perfectly. I'm gonna have to kind of kneel because like, actually maybe I can like raise up my camera. This is getting like a little personal, but the back's got an awesome like puff print is the best way I could explain it. Hold on, there's like cool embroidery on the sleeve if I could find it because it's like all bunched up everywhere. The hoodie has an awesome Unmasked right there, and I just want to say thank you to have, let me mute my notifications, for me being able to have this awesome piece of apparel. It is heavyweight cotton, it is very comfortable, and if you guys are really interested, I will have the link down below on this episode today, and by all means check out Unmasked and the awesome brand that brings it's for musicians, created by a musician for musicians, and I just can't wait for the projects that continue to come out with this brand. Getting off topic a little bit, but to reel us back in, welcome back to Leashed On, a podcast where I'm leashed onto a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. Now today I really wanted to talk, like I've already talked about like what your purpose in life is, but I really wanted to talk about leaving an imprint, I don't know if that's the right word, sorry, leaving a mark on who you want to be. I talk about it a lot, but when you first meet somebody, they have no idea who you are. You have the full ability to leave a lasting impression on people you want to make be known of your presence. And what I mean by that is, if you enter a room, you're going into a new school, you're entering a new college, whatever it may be, a fresh start for you. Leave it as a fresh start of you entirely. Fresh start of your wardrobe, fresh start of your style, fresh start of who you want to be known as. And it can be hard when you're in the same environment. And what I have to say for people who get stuck in the same environment but just want to come out of this, like want to enter a metamorphosis where it's not just a little change of the hair or a little change of the style, it's a whole 360 embodied change of a new you. There is no one that can shut you out of becoming this new you but yourself. So today we're going to talk about how to get out of your own way, because it's true, there's so many maxims to it. There's so many things that people say, their sayings, mottos, advice, whatever, that all translate to you being in your own way. Sorry, had a little camera cut out there, my battery died. But these sayings can usually come back to like you being in your own way. And it's true, when other people talk about you and you take it to heart, you let their words sink in and take it as this new profound truth, you are the one who let that become it. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little hard to grasp because you're like, you want to blame it on somebody else. It's not the best thing to say, but as humans, we like to victimize ourselves. A lot of people do it. Okay, I'm sure, somebody has twisted the story to where, you're actually more of the victim and they've seemed to make it all about them and how they are a victim. So it's like, don't lie to yourself and make yourself a victim of a story that you don't need to be a victim. Because although it is good to give yourself grace, be gentle with yourself. You have you for like forever, for your lifetime. I say that all the time. It's you alone. It's you when you sleep. It's you are here with you all the time. You got to be kind to yourself. And with that, I can even dig a little deeper into like Freud's, beliefs in the subconscious and the conscious. And again, with getting in your own way, know that your subconscious can be a powerful tool in you embodying yourself. Your subconscious can almost reprogram itself when you give it repeated stimuli. And when I mean repeated stimuli, I mean repeated believed stimuli. That's why a lot of people encourage affirmations. I don't exactly like how affirmations have been tied to almost spirituality, because then other people think that if they pick up affirmations they're practicing a different religion, when in reality affirmations is almost more science, and or not even science, it's just more of like a health thing, if that makes sense. Like, it comes down to neuroscience, and a lot of people like to disprove neuroscience, even though I've read countless articles, have asked many people in those fields questions that it's like, hey, is this bullshit or is it true? And with how many experiments there are and how accessible it is online, you could do all this research yourself. I've done it here so I could talk to you guys and let you guys know that your subconscious can be reprogrammed for you to help you become who you want to be. So it's like, people are like, okay, well, what about the struggle of mental health? Mental health is also a chemical, imbalance. There's no disproving that, right? Once you do have a mental illness, it's not like you can just like be off your meds and whatever. But to know yourself is to know your flaws. So if you know that, hey, like, I do struggle with mental health, but I still want to get good grades, but I want to build my confidence, I want to build my self-esteem, I want to put myself out there. You know what you want, you know what you have, put those together and make a new product. And it's hard when you struggle with mental health, you're already at a low, and this is where you do become kind with yourself, gentle with yourself, be one with yourself, be like, it's okay, I'm struggling, I didn't practice affirmations all 7 days of the week I wanted to, but I did 5 out of 7 days. And as I mentioned before, short-term goals are an amazing way to reward yourself. Set yourself a goal. I'm not going to eat snacks for 3 days. Okay? 3 days, that's what, 73 hours, 71 hours, hold on, 24, 72, dang. That's 72 hours that you would not be eating what you personally consider sweets. You could probably eat fruits and somebody be like, that still got sugar in it, you're still eating a sweet. If you were to take their words and be like, oh yeah, man, they're right, man. Oh, I failed. I didn't eat Oreos. I didn't eat fast food, but dang, I had an apple. Oh my gosh, they're saying it's a sugar. Then you beat yourself up. But it's like, what standards you set your goals at. If you are specific with yourself and you know within yourself, yeah, fruit has sugar, but I didn't incorporate that as my rule of what I'm cutting out, and you are able to, be almost confident in yourself and be able to stand against somebody trying to beat you down, it reinforces your self-esteem. It reinforces how you see yourself and helps you be on the path of this person you want to become. Now, when people think, oh, I can just be whoever I want, some people do take it to extremes. There have been people, I have, kind of heard some word about them and I come on to meet them and they end up being nothing that the word says. Either becoming the complete opposite or end up becoming, not like a too good to be true, but just like better than what people say. And with that being said, as I'm telling you as a perspective thing, you got to realize that how you're going to come off to some people, again, might not be their cup of tea, and to others, it might be their cup of tea, but at the end of the day, you have to be your own cup of tea. There's a saying that you can't pour out of an empty cup. So once your cup is full, let your cup be full. All right? It's taking up the volume of your cup. You're satisfied to the top. Only then, when you're going to be able to refill yourself, then you can pour out others. Because what good is it you pouring out just to constantly pour out, get a little bit, pour out, give a little bit, pour out, get a little bit. It doesn't benefit you any more than it does benefit the other, because then you kind of create this codependency. So again, it comes back to being able to trust yourself and know your limits, know your boundaries, know where you stand, and know where you want to be. And I've gotten some messages, oh, Priscilla, like, there's just something in my way, my self-esteem is really low, like, I need some help. And the one thing I say to that is, you are the only one in your way. When you have friends that are dogging you, you have this environment that you have the free will to step out of. And then, don't get me wrong, there will be cons. You lose a crowd of people. Who do you talk to now? Who do you walk with now? Who are you associated with now? Who are your friends? Who can you trust? And sometimes it has to be these bouts of not exactly loneliness, but more solitude. Okay. Third pause count of the podcast, but you sometimes have to enter bouts of solitude to know your worth, to be able to know what it is you want to be around. After you've gone through what you don't want to be around, you can then realize what you want to be around. And I did have a conversation with somebody one time, and I was like, yeah, I do affirmations. I mean, I have affirmations on my mirror. I affirm to myself at night. I affirm in my journal when I have a rough day. I just constantly have positive affirmations running in through my head. And it's true. The way you think, the way you act is your attitude. You know, I have so many coaches that say that, you know, the way you think is going to be the way you act, which turns into your attitude. And it's true. It is one of those science things that's true. And I was talking to somebody once, and they were like, yeah, I just don't believe in affirmations. I just feel like I'm just telling myself false lies. And then it comes into, like, they set themselves that paradigm. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm just telling myself bull, I don't believe it, then you really are wasting your breath. You really are wasting your breath. So it's one of those things that when you do your own research on it, you are able to see, hey, this is fact checking. Hey, this is proof. Hey, this is a real deal. It's not just some, you know, things that witches do or whatever, or the stereotypes that people set on things like positive affirmations or meditating, or, you know, when you have all this knowledge, you could tie this in and, again, re-strengthen yourself. I have amazing friends who have beautiful and strong connections with Christ, and yet they journal, and yet they meditate, and yet they take deep breaths when things get stressful, because these are all neuroscience things that are good for you and your mind. They become mindful. They see how they talk to themselves. They watch who they're around. They watch the content that they take in. So when it comes to rebranding yourself and knowing that you are the only one that's in your way, if you say, man, I really need to delete TikTok, but I just can't, who's the one that's telling you can't delete TikTok? You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's putting a gun in your head and telling you can't do something. Once you're the one who's like, I can't, who else can your mind believe but you? Who? Because if you got that gun pointed to your head, at that point, you're accepting defeat. But if you ain't got no gun in your head, who's telling you can't? You. So get out of your own way. If you are your biggest critic, you are your biggest supporter, you are your biggest hater, you are your biggest friend. When you realize those 4 truths, you can then create a greater bond with yourself that in result will pay off in a lot of different fields. You will get better opportunities. You will have a healthier environment. You will pick up relationships that you want in your life. You have the power to have anything and everything you want. You just got to get there. Just got to get there. Oh, how am I going to get there? Get out of your way. Get out of your own way and know you are capable of it. Nothing is impossible. If things were impossible, we wouldn't have the technology we have now. When you sit back and think, how was a computer made? I mean, I couldn't have made a computer, being honest. The technology that makes this, I know I wouldn't have been able to come up with it myself. Knowing that this is its own technology, touchscreen is its own technology. There's a battery in here that somebody else had found to realize it makes. Finding out how to plug power, how to make holes that sound comes out of. I mean, this is all different inventions that were thoughts into a product. So let that resonate with you. Your thoughts can become a product once they become aligned with what you want to do, what you want to be. So with that being said, you want to be a musician? Do it. Let's do it. Let's see it. You want to become an artist? Do it. Let's see it. The more ardent and the more passionate you are for something, the more people really want to hear your story. So that's why when you want to embody this new you, make sure it's a you you're proud of. If you're out here smoking and following the crowd and drinking and doing zins or whatever, and you sit at home and you're like, man, I only do these things when I'm with other people. I can't stand to be alone. This is not what, I've always wanted to do. What am I doing? Once you get, and these are true things I've heard from people close by me, distant, have gotten anonymous messages. It's all fine and dandy online. It's all fine and dandy in groups. It's all fine and dandy on paper. It's all fine and dandy on the face. But then when you get underneath, who are you? Are you proud of yourself? So, with that being said, 4 things: you are your biggest critic, you are your biggest supporter, you are your biggest hater, and you are your biggest friend. Which one do you want to be to yourself today? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and first episode of the new year, I think. Yeah. Maybe second. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check, but I'll see you guys later.